the ability to play hard all the time, use your speed and quickness and jumping ability, always makes for a good player and a good team. And I thought both teams tonight showed the ability to play really hard from start to finish. There was no let up by either team. We went at each other. We got ahead by 15. They came back, took a lead. We're down 12 in the second half. We came back and up by 10, and still with 30 seconds left, it's just a couple of possessions to make the difference. So very proud of our guys for hanging in there, and very impressed with FIU.
What did they do, Jim? You guys were up by 17, and then they went on a 28-3 run. What happened? Was it their press? Did you guys just lose composure?
I didn't know it was a 28-3 run. If I knew that, I'd probably.
Well, over the two halves, over the end of the first.
Oh yeah, to start the second half. Yeah, here's the thing. They were hungry, and the way they play with the pressure, we play fast, but we play fast off of our defense. We get rebounds and we run. They play so fast because they're pressing and trapping. Even at the half-court level, they trapped all our ball screens. And there were times we didn't handle those very well, turnovers that led to fast break layups and dunks for them. And I told the team before the game, they're really more of a two-point shooting team. They're really good at getting by you and getting in the paint. Arturo Dean is so quick, and we were trying to adjust and figure out how to keep him out of the paint. But there's a reason he was the Rookie of the Year in that league last year. He is very, very good. And I thought the big guys really protected the rim well. And we're very fortunate that we won tonight.
What do you think your team learned from this game? What lessons do you think the guys got?
Well, what I told them after the game was very simply this, that every opponent is different. And, whether you play a team that presses or packs it in or sits in a zone, a team that plays fast, a team that plays slow, every night is really a different challenge. And tonight we had to elevate our game to accept the challenge, because when we were down 12, it didn't look good for us.
Coach, I asked you, when FIU took that 12-point lead, how was your team able to fight back to, eventually retake the lead and eventually win?
Yeah, well, we were playing then without Norshad as well. He picked up his third foul. But the guys who came in off the bench, Michael Nwako, A.J. Casey, in the second half, they gave Norshad plenty of time to rest, because when they were in the game, we came back. Michael was a -3, but A.J. Casey was a +13 in 8 minutes of playing time. So he was a huge substitute, even though he only scored 2 points and only had 1 rebound. Without him, we don't win this game.
Jim, would you make it the discrepancy between second chance points, offensive rebounds? What would you make of that?
Yeah, they were good and we were not in that category. And we didn't have Norshad in there for how many minutes did he even play? 23 minutes. He and Matt, although Matt got a huge offensive rebound basket late in the game that kept them from going on another roll. So there's all different categories. One of the things is that they had 17 assists and only 10 turnovers. We had 14 turnovers again. It's way too high for us. Some of it I thought had to do, we were anxious to start the game. We were like in a hurry, and we made some critical decisions that ended up being a turnover.
Yeah, Coach, we've been in these post-game interviews, and you keep talking about turnovers and ometer fouls. Those seem to continue in this game.
How come you understand that and Norshad doesn't?
Yeah, it seems like a Norshad question. But how does that
I've asked them.
You feel that these things keep happening?
If it keeps happening, we've only played 3 games, and we've won all 3. So as bad as it is for me to have to figure out what to do when he's not in the game, A.J. Casey solved the problem. He and Michael went in and, gave us some quality minutes. But do I like him sitting on the bench next to me for half the game? No. But he's got to be more self-disciplined.
What do you, for as much
much as that middle third of the game is gonna look bad on tape, how valuable is it that when you get later in the year and you're down 12 in the second half, the guys know there's a year they can get to and they can win a game like that? How valuable?
Yeah, I think one of the things is we've got 4 guys back who did it last year. So, and even without Norshad, AJ Casey and Christian Watson are back from last year. So they understand that you don't play the score, you play the game. And the game requires you're not looking at the score, oh, we're up 15 so we can relax, or we're down 12, we're going to panic. No, you got to keep playing defense, you got to keep sharing the ball on offense, and do all the things we practice every day. And then we'll see how things turn out.
Jeremy also
Jim,
said you've been very good to him in his 6 years over there. Just
Uh,
without peeling back the curtain too much, I know you've had a couple of scrimmages he mentioned.
Yeah, the scrimmages. Yeah, I like being nice to people. I'm nice to you, Tim. So, Jeremy's a good coach. He's close to being the winningest coach in FIU's history. Right? They're a local school. We have a great deal of respect for them. When we scrimmaged them, it was like, that was wild. But you learn a lot about your team playing these games. This year we scrimmaged Florida. Right? We played FIU. We played Central Florida. It's always been my philosophy, you should play in-state schools. When I was at George Mason, none of the schools outside of my own league wanted to play us. And I said, well, why not? Said, well, we have everything to lose and nothing to gain. I said, what? Like, I have nothing to lose? If I lose the game, that's a loss. So it's always been my belief when I was at George Mason, those teams should have played us. It would be good for them. Play a good opponent, home and home. And so we did that with Central Florida. We've had great games with them, right? With FIU, and scrimmaging Florida. Those are all challenging learning experiences. So we're going to keep doing that.
You said
Even
it
though
was-
my wife was mad at me for scheduling FAU on the road, not last year, but the year before when we beat them by 2 at the buzzer. She said, why are you playing them? Oh, my God, I'm getting it from – it's bad enough I get it from you guys. It's get it from my wife.
You guys hadn't played each other in 15 years. Then FIU coach said he'd like for it to keep going. Would you like the series to keep
Sure,
going?
I didn't realize it had been that long.
It had been 15
Is this the
years.
first time I've coached against them?
Yeah,
I guess we've been in scrimmages, what?
While at Miami, yes.
Yeah.
2008 is the last time.
But I brought my George Mason team down here. We played them.
Would you like to play?
You know who
again?
I think the coach was?
Isaiah Thomas? No?
Shaky
That was
Rodriguez.
shaky.
Was Shaky the head coach of FIU?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's when it came down. Shaky and I had known each other a long time, we're old timers, and we played. I can't remember what year it was, but it was quite a while ago.
Yeah, Coach Benzie Joseph set a career high tonight with 18. Can you talk a little bit about his
He's great.
development?
He's playing great. I mean, he's playing with a lot of confidence. The best thing is he just keeps concentrating on his defense. You let offense come. You don't focus on the offense because then you're distracted, and then you don't play good defense. But he has really engaged himself at the defensive end of the floor, and he's allowed his offense to just materialize.
And what about Matt Cleveland? Can you talk about him? Because he had a big.
Yeah, he's great. He's been great in practice. He's been a great addition to our program. He's a veteran. One of the nice things about having Matt Cleveland is he knew who we were before he transferred. He had interest in us because he had played against us and said, hey, I think I fit in your program. So we had to recruit him really hard, had to make 2 trips to Tallahassee, which sometimes is not a good idea. But, he was great and he's been great.
In the room for the first time after the Bahamas after this game. Just what are your thoughts on
One of the things we did with our schedule in the non-conference is we try to schedule teams from major conferences because it bothers me that the ACC has not earned the respect that it's had for 71 years. So now we play Central Florida from the Big 12. We're going to play Georgia. Then we'll either play Providence or Kansas State. That's Big East and Big 12. Then we go to Kentucky. That's SEC. So we're challenging ourselves in the non-conference, and we hope that we can do well in the non-conference, because that's become a major part of the committee's decision in choosing who gets an at-large bid.
Last question.
I'm sorry.
What has been the continuous improvement of Luka Popular? What has that meant to the team as a whole?
Well, Wooger is sensational. I mean, I don't know how many do you have tonight?
18.
He had 18. He's a tremendous scorer, tremendous three-point shooter, tremendous free throw shooter. He can rebound. You see that rebound he got at the end of the game, and his defense has steadily improved from his freshman year, where wasn't that last year? It got better and better, and now he's really good at the defensive end of the floor, and we're going to need him. I told you, he was the leading scorer in the first game, leading scorer in the second game. That won't be the end of him being a leading scorer or setting a new career high, because he's just that good.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.